The next workshop I'd like to discuss with you that I attended at the KidMin conference was Double Your Volunteers. Immediately, that title caught my attention. How awesome is that? Every ministry could benefit from more volunteers. In my own church, we have one paid staff, myself, working in children and youth ministry, and the rest of what we do strictly relies on volunteer efforts. This is a large task to accomplish. Why do people say no? How do we deal with that week after week after week? How can we make what we do fun and exciting for people without them feeling overburdened, overwhelmed, and ultimately burned out? The main point that I took from this workshop was to stop looking at what you're already doing and start focusing on what you need to change. Change is difficult, and that is not always an easy place to start. We are creatures of habit, lazy by nature, and want to focus on the good things we are already doing. 5 main points that were brought out. These were: change me, change your pool, change your workspace/office, change the pace, and finally, change the conversation. Christian began the workshop by having everyone fill a blank cloud. Think of the number of volunteers you currently have, realizing that it's probably not enough to get the job done, and dream up the number that you want to achieve, no matter how crazy it seems. This is where you need to begin. Next, think about 5 things that you do that you need help with. What are those 5 things that you just struggle with week to week? That, man, if somebody else would come in and help you, your ministry could achieve so much more. First, change me. How do you change yourself? First, start by having part of your week in prayer. Make time for prayer. Don't just pray on Sunday morning. Think of yourself as a recruiting machine. That is your number one goal in your ministry, is to recruit new members. Recruit a truth teller in your church or a staff member, someone who you know and trust will tell you what maybe you don't want to hear, but you respect and honor their opinion. Get input from someone that you trust and someone who will tell you the truth. Recruit with the right motives in mind, not just to make yourself look better or to increase numbers. Recruit with the motives to bringing children to Christ. Don't be selfish. And last, you need to clean house regularly. Secondly, change your pool. Increase the number of openings that you have with a variety of job descriptions. Go out to different committees. Don't just stay focused on your small group. Don't just recruit yourself because you know what's going on. Realize that you're going to have to train some people and spend time with them in order to accomplish the end result. Get help with communication. If you're not the best speaker, or practice. Get some input from someone you trust. Use different kinds of media. Don't be restricted to your weekly Sunday bulletin. We have such an amazing pool of social media and technology, email, Facebook. Use that to your advantage. And just avoid the duck syndrome. People who duck and run out of church. Approach people who you can confidently approach. Something that we did in my church that it seems to be working is, instead of just saying we need X number of volunteers and nobody has any idea of what they're doing, we run a weekly help wanted ad, much like a newspaper ad, with a job description, what specifically needs to be done, the amount of time that it's going to take to get that job done, and what are some of the qualities that this job will, who are we talking to, and what kind of person are we looking for. And so this goes out in our weekly bulletin and also in our weekly email communications. And it's been very helpful, and we've gotten a lot of new volunteers that way. third is to change your workspace or office. Keep detailed notes. If you're a messy person like I am, I'm a creative type and I have piles everywhere, try to categorize so that when someone comes in to help you, you have the proper materials to give them and you don't look like such a mess. Don't take shortcuts. Change and results requires hard work, so you have to be willing to put in that effort and that time. Never stop recruiting and realizing that it's everyone's job. It's not just your job. You have an amazing pool of resources, and people are coming to your church because they like what's there. So give them the responsibility and the opportunity to share your ministry with others. Fourth is to change the pace. You need to train your core team and make sure that they are equipped to do the tasks set before them. Set your own pace and don't wait until August when everything is in panic mode and you're planning out the whole year. Take it in smaller sections with a clear outlined calendar for the entire year, so it's something that you can manage reasonably. Make it super fun. People don't want to go to boring meetings. People don't want to do boring jobs. Make it fun. And when your volunteers are having a good time, I guarantee that your children who come into your church will also have a good time. Adjust your calendar if you need to, and make your budget have a line item for all your needs. Change it if it needs to be changed. If you have money coming in that's not being utilized well, take a good hard look at your budget and see where those dollars are going to benefit your children's ministry. Last is you need to change the conversation. Go for long-term volunteers. I can't tell you how important it is for a child to grow up having a trusted mentor all through their Sunday school years. They have that person they look to and trust who can walk that faith journey with them. It's invaluable. Look at your images. What does your church, what do your hallways and your classrooms say to families and to children? Does it express what your ministry is trying to achieve? Lay out the benefits for your volunteers. Don't just ask. Tell them what they're going to get out of them. Tell them how awesome volunteering is going to be and the many benefits and what the end result is. Have older kids come back and reflect on what they got out of their children's ministry experience. Constantly evaluate what you're doing. It's hard to take a critical look at ourselves, but it's very important to do that. Recruit to the mission and not to the task. Keep your mission statement in mind and not just little tiny tasks. Track your successful marketing. Keep accurate records of what's working and what's not. Build a team that you would want to be a part of. If you wouldn't volunteer for that, guess what? Probably nobody else is going to sign up either. Build ownership. Own your ministry. Stand beside it. Believe in it. Do it. Live it. Have fun with it. And other people will want to join your mission. Remember that it begins with you and it ends with you. And this is the way to double your volunteers. Good luck.